Is we live? Is we live? Is we live? Yes, you're now tuning into the Rare Podcast. Of course, I'm your host for the most, NK, aka the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. And we have got a very special guest in the building, someone I've wanted to chop it up with for a long time. Madam, introduce yourself, tell the people who you are and a bit about yourself.
Hello, I am Funlola, aka HerMusicRoom, and I basically dabbled in music journalism, PR, and marketing, and I am an avid R&B lover as well.
Appreciate you coming on. I mean, we spoke earlier, but like I've been like following your content for a while. Like yeah, you be putting me onto some gems, and generally just I think music commentary in the UK, like I think it's so important. I feel it's so important for people to be like transparent and like you know what you're talking about. Do you know what I'm saying? And obviously, given your background, it makes sense. But like you're somebody like who can say this is good, this is bad, and explain why.
Yeah, why?
So I feel like platforms like yours are like so important.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot, actually. Sometimes it's hard to get the positive.
Nah, it's the the UK. We're not beating bad vibes allegations.
No,
but...
we're not. Myself included. Yeah.
But before we get into the main pod, we like to do a little segment called Rare Moment of the Week. That's where we like to spotlight a creative. It could be an artist, a musician, a photographer that we feel, you know, deserves the accolades. And there's a song that I found probably like a couple days ago. It's from an artist called Boy Soda called Little Obsession. That song right there has been stuck in my head. And I'm a shout out Sasha Keyboard as well. One thing I do love is choirs. When somebody adds, especially towards the final chorus of a song, and when somebody adds a choir just to really elevate,
pulls it all together,
and they're harmonizing and the layering is doing this thing.
Gosh,
and that Boy Soda song, Little Obsession, like he can sing, but then the choir he added at the during the chorus of the song. Chef's kiss.
I'm adding that to my
my
rotation. I'm sure.
Remind me afterwards. I'll play it afterwards, innit? But cool, like it's a banging track, and I think he's from the States, I believe. He's definitely. I don't think he's from England. If he's from England, big him up again. But Boy Soda, Little Obsession, banging track.
Oh, nice.
Do you have a rare moment?
I do have a rare moment. It's not an artist and it's not a musician. It's a content creator. His name's Moyo. So you might know him. He's like in the millions now.
Yeah.
But I just think he deserves his accolades. I love his content. We actually went to uni together.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So out of the people that I know that have kind of come up in this new like influencer generation or whatever, he has never changed.
Yeah.
Like how you see him on video is how he is in real life. Like the way he speaks to people and interacts, he's always been like that. He is every brand's dream, literally. And I love it for him. Like, he's just doing, like, incredibly well. Now he's just bought his first house.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
I was
so like, I'm just, like, I'm so proud that we did the big clash back in the day. Yeah. And that energy is still how he is now. Like, he will always put his best foot forward. And I just love that. I love seeing him win.
Nah, that's sick, man. That's sick. I've seen Moyo for years, and then just seeing like him really like become a staple in this like social media game.
Exactly, because he's not even a small one. He's a big one. Yeah,
he's a big one. He bought a house in this cause he lives. Yay!
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I'm so happy for him. Honestly.
Nah, big up Moyo, man. Big up Moyo. But I think R&B, he definitely said, like, you know, you love a bit of R&B. When did you know you really liked the genre? Because I think we all grew up like listening to R&B and stuff like that. But when did you like become, okay, this is actually my genre. I love this stuff.
Yeah. Do you know what? I would probably say maybe when I really started putting content out, I was like, this genre is too different. And when I was younger, I thought I could sing. Like, you know, we all go through. So when I'm listening to certain songs, say for example, like a Beyonce song or just an artist Jasmine Sullivan was a big one for me growing up. I'm not hitting them notes.
No.
Like the technicality when your voice is the instrument is insane. And I just feel like it doesn't get the recognition that it deserves. I will never forget when I heard No Stallion by Shay for the first time and I said in a British accent. Like the runs, the riffs, like the inflections was insane. So
And I think R&B so easily gets categorized as breakup music or love music when people don't actually appreciate the intricacies of the genre, like the vocal layering, just to even like and the instrumentation on some of these stuff. Like I'm a huge Donell Jones fan, right? And like even though his voice, because some people attribute like good singing to basically like belting and screaming, you know,
that's so true.
But just some of the little intricacies, the little run he will do with his voice, the little half run here, the little high note there, like it's a cohesive piece, and it's such a like emotive genre.
It is.
It's such an emotive genre, and I feel
invokes
like
so much.
and I feel like it just doesn't get the recognition it deserves because people either attribute it to breakup music or bedroom music, and it's just like it's more than just that.
Like I play R&B when I'm getting ready for a night out. Like to me, that's what gets me, in the mood. So it's kind of just like when you look beyond the lyrics, there's so many other elements that make up a sound. Like the production on R&B is actually the best production,
ridiculous,
in my opinion.
Shout out to Rodney Jenkins.
Exactly, Dark Child. He does his thing.
Yeah.
So I think. I don't know what it would take to get more people to tap further into R&B, but what I do know is the people that love R&B love it. Like it's not just like a small, it's like a real actual appreciation.
Because we've noticed like almost like I'd say an R&B like renaissance, right? In recent memories, of course, we've got like motives dedicated to R&B.
Yes, that's so true.
I will say this though, we need to play more R&B at these motives. Some of these motives, I'm hearing a shake, and I'm like, no.
I did see that floating around online, and basically someone summed it up pretty nicely. Was that when you are buying your ticket, it does say like, fair enough, the event may be called something R&B related.
It does say
but it does say in the small print. Yeah. But obviously, at the same time, when you are labeling something, you can't get mad at people for assuming that that's what it's actually going to be.
Okay. Do you think these motives do that because they know there's not a big enough audience for R&B for a sustained period of time? Or is it a thing where these motives need to take more risks and condition people to be like, no, it says what it is, it is what it is. If you don't like it, get out.
I think it's the latter. I think that people need to be stricter and contain what it is supposed to be. But I do feel like that's a wider problem with Black people. Just generally, we're too opening and welcoming to anything and everything.
So gatekeeping.
The gatekeeping, it really needs to start doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah,
because.
So we spoke about like, how do you feel about the state of R&B now? Because I feel like R&B's, especially like during the 2010s, encountered some sort of like comeback or renaissance. Because I was talking on the previous podcast where I feel like during the 2010s, a lot of our favorite R&B artists embraced the David Guetta era, and they started making the unsi, like, whether it was Kenny Rowland, Usher, Chris Brown, everybody was culpable.
Yeah.
Everybody was compromised. But then over time, you had the new era coming, and there's certain artists that are forgotten about, like 7th Streeter. Like she's forgotten about, but like she really brought. What's Janae Aiko's sister's name? Oh my gosh,
Maya, is her name Maya?
Something.
Mila J.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mila J. Like those artists, even Amara to a degree.
Yeah.
Those artists.
Tink was in there. She was one of them.
Tink was there, and then these artists slowly started to come back, and then you had like the superstars emerge, like the Summer Walkers, the Brents, the Scissors, and now like R&B became a topic of conversation again when it wasn't during that, I'd say maybe 2009 to 2012 or 13, right? But obviously, there's, with all genres of music, there's comparison. And people are like, this ain't the 90s R&B, this ain't this ain't that. But where would you say now that we've, the R&B artists like the Summers, the Scissors are fully cemented, and R&B's, you know, accepted as, you know, a popular genre again. How
Yeah.
would you describe this period of R&B?
I think R&B is gonna move more on the rhythm side than blues. Like we've got that K1. She's got that kind of Tory Lanez trap energy,
Yeah.
which I'm loving. Sasha Keeble's become a bit more aggressive. She used to be on the jazz thing before she started
Okay.
making more R&B stuff. Like Odil's Blame You is more on the rhythm side. Like
Yeah.
it's got heavy, hard-hitting beats in it. So I think that that's what it's going to be. I think blues isn't. I would like it to survive. I love a good ballad.
Yeah.
Like not everything has to be like a little two-step. Like
Yeah.
sometimes let me just actually really enjoy the vibe.
Yeah.
But I think we're also missing things like outside music now. Like it's either a shake, I'm a piano, or like some form of essential C song. So in terms of going outside and shaking a leg and hearing vocals, it's only the rhythm side. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna take over. Like I think, yeah, that's what's gonna take over. Like I just don't think that it can survive in the current climate that we're in right now. Everything is too depressing, basically.
Ooh.
So I feel
Okay.
like that then just adds another element to it.
Do you think it's interesting, because I feel like the state, I'm happy that R&B is back in discussion. I'm happy that I can play certain
Same.
songs, but then there is a part of me, even though I'm a late 90s baby, grew up in the 2000s. So even though when I go back to listen to 90s songs,
Yeah.
obviously I don't want it to be that sound, 'cause that sounds of a certain era, but
time.
I think there was just a lot more, like you say, in diversity, and you had a song for pretty much every moment, where this one, it feels like a very a lot of a small selection.
You're so succinct, honestly. That's literally, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of a small selection. So, and it's like, listen, Trap Soul did wonders for the community, but
Yeah.
also that kind of dark R&B. For example, you know how the Drake and Party Next Door project came out, right?
Yeah.
To a lot of people, that's quintessential R&B. I don't think it is, and I love Party Next Door to death.
Yeah.
P1,
Yeah.
P1, and I think P3 is underrated.
Do you know what? I do agree with that.
P3 is underrated.
Yeah, I do agree.
But that, even that dark R&B sound that him, Black, a lot of artists were doing has become now especially for men, the standard. Because I think with women, you get naturally, I mean, it's partly due to misogyny or whatever, but like you get like women being able to be a lot more vulnerable, and you get a lot more the crooning and a lot more stuff.
But we used to have that though.
But with the men, back in the day, you had that, but now it's like the man them have to be singing. Yeah, I got a main thing at home.
Tell me about
but
it.
the side thing I saw in the club's laying over a trap beat.
Do you know what? Yeah, this is what confuses me about Nipper. I'm gonna be honest.
Yes. No, because
I am confused. Like he's making such amazing music, and then there's 20 niggas behind him in the music video.
I don't.
Who is your audience? Like, who is the audience?
I swear, yeah. I saw I don't think the reason why I screamed, yeah, because literally me and my brother have been having this conversation at home, yeah. We were just like, what is this street nigga R&B?
There's like a specific set of male R&B artists they're building their audience off of being good looking. Like, so the music is like, you know that people are gonna like it regardless. So in terms of you as an artist, you're not putting your best, like you're not bringing your baddest bitch out. Like you're not putting your best foot forward. Like you just know that it's going to do well because women are consumers, and the more good looking you are, the easier it is.
It's you've summed it up. You've opened an amazing topic, because for me, it's like, don't get it twisted. I'm not gonna romanticize the 90s and the 2000s and say there weren't, trash there wasn't trash lyrics and songs. Confessions is a whole cheated album.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Amazing album, but it's foolishness in terms of like the debauchery. But I feel like there's that level of, I think too many male R&B artists wanna be like, yeah, don't ever fuck with me, don't play with me.
Yeah.
But at the same time wanna cater to a genre that's very much about vulnerability.
Thank you.
And it's like,
pick a side.
Pick a side and pick a side.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the music just comes across either disingenuous
Exactly.
or it comes across like you can do a lot more.
A lot of them can do a lot more, and that's my whole thing. That now everyone thinks I'm a Odell hater. They think I hate that guy. I want the best for him. I
Yeah.
can tell you that for free. Like,
Yeah.
I know that his talent is more than what we're receiving right now,
Mm.
and I don't know if that's a label move or if that's a personal move. So
I think I'll be honest. I think I was big up Flashy Silla. I was talking to him like on the last episode. I think I put more onus on the infrastructure than the artists.
yeah,
Because at the end of the day, I feel like the industry has a very myopic view of what sells. And I thought we were talking earlier. I feel like the UK has an idea. We celebrate success to a detriment.
yeah,
If something works,
Yeah.
we're gonna copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. No alteration. We don't want that. There's no room for genuine experimentation. And what I think that does is it forces artists to conform
yeah.
to certain things.
And that is like, that goes against what being an artist or creative is. Like, it's your thoughts, it's your
Yeah.
imagination, it's your idea. And I try and like labels, but I just don't. Like,
For me, right, and because I'm the type of person I would champion. I might be mispronouncing his name, but Elmine, the R&B,
Yeah, Elmine, yeah.
Elmine, right? He's amazing, but the fact that I don't see blogs talking about him infuriates me. He just did Shay Universe and him did a Tiny Desk.
Yeah.
Crickets.
And they're two of the best Tiny Desks.
They're
that
two
I've seen.
amazing artists. Shay Universe is a performer, artist. Elmine is I used to watch that guy in the pandemic sing on TikTok lives. That is a success story.
Yeah.
A success story that the industry should be pioneering, but instead, it's crickets.
It's because you don't need them. His fan base is so big that it's like, he doesn't need them. They need him.
They need him, but nobody's saying anything. And that's my problem.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying anything. It's like, again, a lot of our artists feel like best kept secrets. But watch,
Yeah,
this guy will
that's
win
so
a Grammy.
Mhm.
One of our own. When?
Exactly.
When? When did we clamor for these guys? Ray's a perfect example. Perfect example.
I know that old label is honestly just so embarrassed. I would be so embarrassed
They tried
that
to
you were gatekeeping that type of
they
talent.
tried to corner her as an Afro swing artist.
Sorry, it's just how disrespectful. Like, that is just so disrespectful. Like, all the girl wants to do is sing ballads without her shoes on. Like, there's no need for people to be now entering the industry and everything that they've dreamed and worked so hard for is just gone. Like,
Yeah.
or it's just not there, or it's been diminished to something that they don't want to do. I feel like Sasha Keeble has always wanted to make music like this.
Yeah.
But the first time I heard her was on Disclosure's album 10 years ago. So they were trying to put her in that kind of like Jess Glynn,
Yeah.
do the dancey type of tracks because your voice is like, it's a belter.
Yeah.
But that's not, I don't even think Jess Glynn even wanted to make that type of music. But we'll just never know.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
We'll never know. Because we speak a lot about labels, but what do you think we as like consumers should be doing? Because I feel like I'm always trying to like, okay, the label stuff is mostly out of our control.
Yeah, it is.
Artists, like, unless we're friends with these artists, we can't really be in their ears and stuff like that. But as consumers, I always implore people to be like, if you see an artist doing well, go to their shows, shout them out.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like as consumers, sometimes consumers, especially if you call yourself a music fan, if you just listen to music in passing, that's fine. But if you're the type of person to be listening to podcasts about music, you're clearly invested in it.
Yeah.
But I always implore consumers, do the work. Do the work, because that's how, because at the end of the day, it's capitalism, and we are the people who pump money into these artists. We go to these shows, we pay however much money for these streaming services. If we speak with our voices and our money more so, we get to dictate the direction of the scene. It's not for example, I went to Leon Thomas's show, right? I'm so jealous. Amazing. half of the industry was there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Half of the industry was there.
Yeah.
And if the industry's there, there was, and I know they probably, executives came out of that show being like,
Yeah.
it's still R&B thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And obviously Leon's an American act, right? But that his popularity is going to have a trickle-down effect on us and the
Yeah.
labels.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, if you're being honest, UK's always playing catch-up. Always playing catch-up. Whether it's politically, social, whatever.
Yeah.
And this isn't me. I love being black British, right? Londoner specifically. But Londoner specifically. And I love what we create here. But when it comes to the infrastructure, the powers that be, the infrastructure at hand, it always feels like we are playing catch up or we are trying to placate to an audience that's not our own.
Yeah. That's literally what it is. There's no real like we don't have anything, basically. We don't have anything. Like, even radio, they're still playing Ja Rule, living it up. Like, on Capital Extra. Like, why are we so far behind?
And it's interesting, right? Because I feel like we have a lot of emerging talent, man. A lot of emerging talent that's killing it, that's doing well. But we spoke about this earlier. It's like there's a discography problem where we have legacy artists. We have, for example, a J Hus, right?
Yeah.
Killing it.
Yeah.
Got 3 projects in. We're almost like he's almost been in the game. He's been in the game long, but he's almost been like a popular act for 10 years.
Which is mad.
But yet,
Yeah.
okay, 2 classic albums, 1 not so received album, and crickets. And I'm seeing this pattern with a lot of artists where they'll have 1 or 2 projects and disappear. I love this artist to death. Where the hell is A2?
Do you know he just dropped a project, but I think he's independent now.
Got you.
So his reach is not what it was when he was signed, because he was on Tiny's label.
But even when he was signed, yeah, I felt like, especially the sound he had features with Black before he was Black. Like A2's like A2 in terms of just like a visionary, in terms of honestly, like his sound was so distinct, but I felt like the powers that be had nothing for him.
Yeah.
Which is so frustrating, because I feel like, again, we go back to this point of everything sounding the same. Everything sounded very, fit in a certain structure.
Yeah.
And I feel like, for example, it's a different industry. They've had like light years in terms of forming their scene. But a Playboy Carti, a No Name, a Joey Badass, and a Trippie Redd can exist in the same genre.
Yeah.
And all receive relative success.
Yes.
And occupy different spaces.
People think there's no room in the UK.
Exactly.
There's no space for anyone else to do it.
And I feel like here, it's like, if you don't fit a certain billing, you will just be if you know artist.
Yeah. How frustrating is that? Like, there's only, and also we're in a country that no one is even making money. So to even try and do your own thing independently is an issue. There's only like four, maybe 5 like major labels that actually support UK artists.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's your best chance. But then that's now what you're subject to having to do. Like, now you have to fit into a certain box so that you can pay your rent. Because we're not, even in America, like, you could work a normal job, earn more than you have here, and then have enough money to fund like your creative side.
Yeah.
Here, you really have to pick and choose. So I don't think that helps either. Like, there's a lot of artists that should be bigger. They definitely should be bigger. But money is such a big thing. But then also, it's like the label knows that money is a big thing. And so they're going to sign you with this advance, but then you now have to do whatever they ask you to do. So,
and do you think? Do you think the media, like the press, the media, like we're complicit in kind of like the, I don't want to say stagnation of the genre, stagnation of like the industry? Because I feel like a lot of media, public, and I get it, people got to make money, they got to craft a living, but it comes to a point where I feel like I'm seeing stuff, I'm like, why is nobody talking about this? Or why is everyone so happy to clearly see that, we're being played with?
The thing with that is what I'm also learning. whilst trying to build my own like
Yeah.
press is people actually do not like a difference in opinions. Like they don't. So then it stifles what you want to talk about. It only makes you talk about topics that are very like, you know, bread and butter, very vanilla, because you know
Safe.
that you're not going to get any backlash. But if we're going back in time, there's never been a point where journalists are supposed to be liked. Like they have a job. It's like a food critic. You're supposed to be a little bit scared.
Yeah.
Like, but obviously you want them to say good things. If they don't say good things, then you go back and you work on it.
Yeah.
But here, that's just not, we're not doing that because you get what you get. And if you don't like it, you're a hater. That's literally what it is. Like, that's just what it is. So there's no room for media to grow here when they just want you to say nice things.
Yeah.
Or they just want you to agree with what they've done or just love their work. But that's just not how it goes. Even Beyonce has misses.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like everything she did. So it's like, you have to take the good and the bad because that's just what it's supposed to be about.
Yeah.
And then maybe that would encourage more people to start their own types of press.
As a creator yourself, right? How do you? Because I'm putting you in the position of an artist, and you're also a creator as well.
Yeah.
How do you distinguish this genuine critique versus okay, this is beyond critique and this is hating? How do you like in your personal content
Yeah.
creation distinguish that, and then we can probably like spread it out to like outwards?
I don't know, honestly. I just feel like I have too much knowledge. Like it's not
Mm.
like I'm just making content because I just love music. Like it's been who I am. Like everyone has known me as this before. I put up a camera. So I just try and balance it really. But if I really, really don't like something, there's just no point in lying because I know that people agree. I just think it may just be my delivery, which I'm getting better at working on and making it a bit more
Is
palatable.
it delivery though, or is it the? Because I feel like you could you could season it all you want.
Yeah.
What you said is what you said.
Yeah, but yeah. If you said it, it would be different though.
Because I'm a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it's either if you said it or if I was light skinned. Those are the two things I'm telling you. Because Mimi gets the same stuff.
I'll be looking at BB's tweets. I'm like, I agree with it, but
Exactly.
I agree with it. And maybe no, sometimes it might be a delivery here and there, but I agree with it for the most part. Like
A lot of people do. That's the thing.
but
That's the
she's an easy
thing.
target.
Yeah, it's
But I
easy.
just the reason why not to say that I don't push back because there is like internalized misogyny in the industry.
Yeah.
That's just a fact.
Mhm.
I just think too many people don't want to fuck up the bag.
Yeah.
I think it's two things. Two things can be true at the same time. There is internalized misogyny in the industry.
Yeah.
And at the same time, people
That's
are protecting their pockets.
that's the main thing. I can tell you that for free. Like the industry is built on relationships, especially from a PR. Like I came in doing PR. So it's like that's my job is to build these relationships so that in the future it's not harder to ask for things.
Mhm.
I think that was another reason why I stopped because it changes how you lose your honesty. You lose your honesty, you lose like your integrity in a lot of things, and I don't like that. So I just try and keep everyone at arm's length enough for me to be able to
Yeah.
say what I want to say. Like,
So there's not enough separation between church and state. Basically, there's
Yeah.
not the PR, the media, and the artists. While they're supposed to have like a relationship, the relationship's now
they're all becoming one.
Mm.
And I think also just within our community, like I was saying earlier, Clubhouse did a lot. So a lot more people are realizing that it's not as straightforward. Like there's a lot of ways you can get into the industry, and sometimes it can be based on the people that you know.
Yeah.
So I think people are taking that and running with it, which is great. But I just think that it needs to be just a bit more contained.
Because no, I could go on about this for hours, but to make sure that we don't come across as like haters from throwing stones.
Yeah.
I'd say, who would you say like is an artist that you can see like right now that is being developed well? Because you come from like artist development background, you can see that their team there. Because I think also a lot of the time. And this is due to like, capitalism where we focus on the individual and stuff like that. We don't understand that for an artist to be big for an artist to have reached, there is a concerted effort from a lot of people.
Yes.
Who would you say is an artist or some artists that you can see that their team know exactly what they're doing?
I've been looking at Jack James and K1's manager. She's amazing. Jack James is coming back with something heavy. I
Please,
just
I
know
miss him
it.
so much. I
Yeah,
miss him. I
but that's
miss
the
him.
thing. Like, I think it will be worth the wait.
Yeah.
Like, the wait is for a reason, and I think that is just showing, like, from when he started to him even dancing in his own music videos, like he's doing it in the correct way that will make sure he has a longer career, in my opinion.
Yeah, because obviously K1, you know, I found out about her like this year alongside the rest of the world.
Okay.
Yeah, she's one. No, tell a lie. I found a song of hers probably like in 2013, but obviously I didn't know it was her.
Okay.
Probably not 2023. 2023, not 2013,
Thinking,
2023.
how young was
Yeah, I was
she?
gonna say no. Please, I'm not that tapped in. In 2023.
Yeah, fair.
But obviously, a lot of these artists, I don't like. I'm not the type of person to look at their face or whatever. I'll hear the
Yeah,
song,
I'm not. Yeah,
and
same.
then like for example, I didn't know what Jordan Smith looked like for years because I was
That's
listening to like Blue Lights and songs that she had with Maverick Sabre. So
Great song, isn't it?
great.
Carry Me Home, I think. It's called.
What a
Yeah,
Prince.
great song, yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, banger. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not the type of person to look. So obviously, when I saw oh like her,
Yeah,
and then obviously
K1.
the Kehlani cosign, which big up Kehlani. Like actually big up Kehlani for the
She
like.
did what she needed to do, like
Yeah.
for K1. Like you were saying, I heard K1 on Scribs Riley's EP in 2020. I said, okay, I need to hold on to this. From 2020 to the end of 24, and we're getting into 2025 now, you can tell that there was a lot of growth during that period.
Facts.
Like, she was ready to be on that stage. It wasn't like, and I love Flo, but they threw Flo on big stages with no development. Like, then they started to go back. You know, now they supported Kehlani on tour. Now they're doing their own tour, and you can see now they're ready for it. Like, doing it before they're ready, it's just, it opens up so much negative criticism that they don't need.
I think, yeah.
So it's K1's time.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
think with Flo, love them. Love what they start. I think whoever their label was gave them way too big of a boot to
To
fill.
fill, yeah. I do agree.
The Destiny's Child comparisons was an unfair, and I know that was a concerted effort from the team.
Yeah.
Because it kept coming up.
I agree.
That for me, not to say set them up for failure because they're still doing things, but it set a bar that is unfair.
Yeah.
For these are Flo, you can clearly tell they've been, preserved by their label. You can clearly tell
they've been protected.
They've been protected by the label, but still, these are still young emerging acts. Let them have their own identity, and it's like,
Agreed.
These girls are bringing back girls groups.
Yeah.
TLC, Destiny's Child, and now you got Flo.
Yeah.
And it's like
calm down.
Cool down.
Yeah, like let's actually take a minute.
Because now we're not looking at them through the metrics of, oh my God, these three young girls are killing it.
Exactly.
Let's see how they develop. It's like, hey, I was told we're bringing back girl groups.
Yeah.
You're the reason why we're gonna start getting an emergence of girl groups again.
Yeah.
And it's like, hold on.
It's mad.
It's a madness.
These are small girls, and you're gonna put that much weight on them. It's insane.
It's and don't get me wrong, you're supposed to market an artist. But at the same time, it's like people are going from their bedrooms to big stages.
Yeah. No, literally. And it's so scary how quickly people want to make money in an industry that you can lose everything so quickly. So surely you'd want to build it in a way that has a lot more longevity.
Because at the end, because you're not gonna be hot forever.
Exactly.
And what is gonna, kind of propel you and keep your name alive is your backlog, is your discography.
Exactly.
It's the reps before. But if your first album goes number one, great, money in your bank account. But now you've set that standard.
Exactly.
You've set that standard of you're the number one artist, be number one, versus you're bubbling, you grew. Then year 5, cool. That's when you blow. But then now people, not only the people who have met you now, they have stuff to go back to. And then when it's all said of done, instead of 1 or 2 albums that had to hit #1, you've got, hey, oh my God, you got the underrated project that people didn't listen to.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got this project, and then you've got the commercial.
Big,
So I just feel like there's a lot of these labels, I get it.
Yeah.
They want to make money.
Yeah.
But even for artists, it's like, it's okay for you to perform in small arenas.
Exactly.
It's okay for your album not to be, you know, on Rap Caviar or R&B X the first time. Build that following. Because that following is super important.
It really, really is. And that's why I think A2, as much as it probably won't be the success that he would have had when he was signed, he's still got that core fan base. For sure. Like, that's how I knew that he dropped, because I love him. Like, before and after he was signed, like, his music is good, and it's nice to.
And he's got projects. And
yeah, exactly. He's got a catalog, but like, I feel like Flow, in terms of their music, they've done the artist development thing.
Yeah.
In terms of like the things that make money, which is touring, mainly, they just needed a bit more. Like, I just think it was too wireless. I think throwing
them out on tour this early was not the. I'm not, you know, in the music business. There's guys that know more than me, but throwing them out, because I think they were the headline acts on their own tour, right? And it was a pretty big tour.
They haven't toured yet, so they did Kehlani's.
Yeah.
They opened for her, but before that, they had a mini tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a mini tour. I went to their first show. Definitely needed some improvements. Yeah. Definitely. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
So,
but, and again, those things are supposed to, your first shows are respectfully not supposed to be the end all be all.
Yeah, it was a small show. It wasn't.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be.
That's how it should be. Because I feel like once you've got the spotlight on you, I'll use an American example to take it out of the UK. Ice Spice went from, you know, and then you threw her on big stages and we saw what happened.
She's now really out there saying, I think you're the fart. Like, that's the trajectory of her career now. And that is so, so sad. Like, one person I can say that's been to Thames.
Yeah.
My God.
Thames.
The growth has been
sensational.
Exactly how it should be.
Sensational.
Because even she wasn't the best when she was first getting up on stage, but she's found like the things that make her comfortable. I think at first she was trying to do the dancey thing, but it just didn't really suit her vibe. No. And now she doesn't need to. Like, she knows how to handle a stage and a big crowd, but she couldn't have done that back in the day.
Nah. An artist, for me, obviously, she's the talk of the town, but the artist I just think, when I think this is what you do with artists, is Doechii. Because I was there from like Spooky Coochie, Yucky Bucky. I discovered Doechii through Isaiah Rashad's project. The House is Burning.
She's on
What You Said.
Great song.
Great song.
She had the best verse. That's her Nicki Minaj monster.
Yeah, that verse was, I was like, who is this? Then I went to listen to Spooky Coochie, Swamp Bitches with Rico Nasty.
Yeah, she's really good.
And then I'm like, I've been saying for years, yo, Doechii's and then when the Alligator Bites Never Heal thing came out, I was like, this is a good project. But then just to see the reception she's getting, and then now she's
ready.
She's a superstar. But if you go back, you can see the work. You can see, for example, Anxiety was a TikTok freestyle. Anxiety that she's now released as a song is a TikTok freestyle. And this is an example of her being diligent in her craft, and her having like a small catalogue of work before is helping her.
Yeah, exactly.
It's helping her because she's ready. Her performances, her breath control. Shout out DJ Miss Milan. Them two going back and forth is crazy.
And that's like, I think Doechii has such a good essence of what being an artist is, and she's bringing a lot of things back into the industry that's been missing for too long. DJs actually don't even do their job anymore because you're supposed to like control the crowd, you know, get them hype when they need to be and stuff like that. And I feel like Milan is showing what a DJ is supposed to do. Because we had, what was it? I was about to say, it's Will Smith and who is it? Jazzy? Is it Jazzy J?
Jeff,
they were a duo. Yeah. Like we're missing a lot of that. Like, people don't want to really sit down, work with people and develop together. Like, we don't have producer artist duos anymore. Like, what do we have? Like,
they're coming back though.
Are
Well,
they?
they're coming back. Well, one guy, my guy, the Alchemist, is bringing it back.
Okay, yeah, that's
Alchemist is
fair.
bringing it back.
Yeah. But you know when they're just
Yeah.
locked in with that
Yeah.
one artist and they're just making, like, that's when I was really tuned in with
Mhm.
Odile as well.
Yeah.
His manager at the time was also one of his producers.
Mm.
Just making amazing music.
So,
man.
big up Saint. We spoke about this earlier, but
Okay, yeah.
we spoke about the the role producers have these
Yeah.
days. I feel like too many producers aren't, to go into what you're saying, aren't locked in with the artist. It feels very disconnected. It feels like, hey, this beat is for sale,
Yeah.
top bidder, or who's gonna make me the, which again, it's a business. So we like, of course, as consumers, we like to romanticize the business and say, you know what,
Exactly.
make
Yeah.
art, be that painter who's barefoot in your room and just do
Yeah.
whatever. But it's a
Yeah.
business. So at the
It
end of
is
the
a
day,
business.
you've got to make money. But that artist producer combination is so
It's key.
important.
Yeah.
When we think about Dark Child and Brandy, when we think about Timbaland, Justin Timberlake, we
Yeah,
think
mad.
about those artists, obviously Mike and Quincy. We think
Yeah.
about those artist producer they're so important.
They are.
And I feel like that's kind of been disregarded these days.
Yeah.
Because it's a thing where, hey, I'm going to auction off my thing. Who's the highest bidder? Sold, on to the next one.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, you and you lock in and let's make a cohesive body of work.
Literally. Like, yeah, literally. And I feel like as you get bigger, obviously it's harder to stick to that when there's more people in the room.
Yeah.
There's more things that can elevate a sound, basically. But I think from a starting point, it makes such a difference. Like, I manage a rapper and I manage a producer as well, or
Okay.
producer artist. And they both work together. But my producer's also trying to build his kind of roster of artists just for him, because then he's consistently working with just them. Like, he's not worried about, I need to sell this beat so I can pay my rent. Like, he has that kind of solid group of people that he works with. And I do think it makes you understand them more. You understand the artist and the artist understands the producer more. Like, there's more synergy than, oh, hi, like, you get into the studio sessions, oh, hi, like, nice to meet you. Today
Yeah.
we're going to work on, I don't know you.
Yeah.
Like, I actually don't know you. So it's hard to kind of have that synergy when, like, we're literally just here to do a job. And I think that's when it starts losing the essence of what has made it art. Like, when it's just, what can we sell?
Yeah, when it comes just a commodity for you to
Yeah,
sell.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't think music should ever be a commodity. It never goes well. Unless you're comfortable, you know, like, I was having a conversation about this the other day, yeah. Darko makes fun music.
Yeah.
Like, she makes such fun music. I'm
Yeah.
not expecting a ballad from her.
No.
And I don't think it would make
Makes
sense,
sense, no.
because her music is fun.
Yeah.
I just feel like some artists don't know.
What they are.
Yeah, they don't know what they want to actually do. So the criticism is hurting them more because they're not even confident enough in their own sound. Because you don't know, like, are you making more fun music where we're not taking you too seriously?
Yeah.
And we know that vocals might not slap, but I'm getting it in the club.
Yeah.
Or am I taking you that seriously as an artist where it's like, I'm nitpicking on the vocals?
Do you think as consumers we've lost the ability to consume albums properly? Because I feel
Yeah.
like people now, and sometimes I'm even guilty to this. A good album is how many likes are on the Spotify. It's how many. Okay, it's a good album. 1, 2, 3. Okay,
Yeah,
10 track
exactly.
list. Okay, it's got 8 songs I like. It's a good album.
Yeah.
Versus, okay, what are the themes of this? What are the artists saying?
Exactly.
And I feel like and I feel like because there's a rush for everyone to be first.
Yeah.
Album will come out, and then, okay, I like 8 songs of the album. It's a good album. But what's the album about?
Exactly.
And you're not getting the entire body of work on one listen. The artist has spent months crafting this piece of work.
Sometimes even years.
Years. You're not getting everything the artist wants to say on your first listen. Now, you can obviously decipher whether you like it sonically. I think the way I consume album is first listen is a sonic listen, just to see how I feel about it. And then over time, because there's albums now that I didn't like when they first dropped.
Yeah,
but over time, I get what you're saying. For example, again, I'm a Kendrick Glazer. It is what it is. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, when it first came out, I didn't like it.
I actually really enjoyed it.
Well, let me say I didn't like it. I didn't like it as much as Damn.
Damn is the one though.
However, yeah, no, but however, now those albums are flipped.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, when I listen to Count Me Out, that song's
Mm.
almost
It's such a
spiritual for
good
me.
song, man.
That Mr. Mar album is like,
Yeah, it's really good.
especially like talking about, like, especially like as a like Kendrick Lamar
Yeah, the
battling a song like
topics.
Father Time battling that masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
Like what, like that album is going to sit with me for a long time. Where with Damn, and obviously Kendrick still has songs like Feel, Duckworth. It has deep songs, but
Yeah.
that album was that album because, oh my god, the bangers. That album, like
Yeah.
Loyalty,
Yeah.
DNA, Humble. That
Yeah.
album was very much a moment's
Yeah,
album.
yeah, it was.
But Mr. Morale was an album that grew on me. But I feel like people don't allow themselves consumers don't allow themselves to grow with music. I'm not saying you have to revise and study an album all the time. But at the same time, if you consider yourself a fan of the genre,
Yeah, exactly.
hey, give it more than one listen. If you don't like it, that's your prerogative.
Yeah,
But I just feel like too many people want to be first.
they do.
They want to put up the tweet saying, this is mid, this is meaty, this is trash. What the hell is my man talking about?
And there's no real, like, there's no backing behind what people are saying, but it's social media's fault. Like, I think, like we were even saying earlier, Elmine, his come up was off TikTok. Cat Burns is the same. Like, you could even say the same for J.O. Like,
Yeah.
before 22, I mean, actually, I actually really liked EXO.
EXO's a
Yeah,
banger.
great song.
EXO's
But,
a
like,
banger.
but that's what really propelled him.
Yeah.
And we can't deny that. Like, I just think convenience kills your creativity. So, like, now people, it's convenient to even, like, this is why I'm trying to diversify the content, because if I'm just constantly telling you, oh, here's 5 tracks to listen to, like, what work are you doing? Like, how are you finding what you like, or, you know, what resonates with you? Like, we can't all just do the work for you. You have to, like, figure out some stuff. But now when you can just scroll 2 seconds, oh, you can hear a 2-second clip. I think I like that. I can add that to my playlist. You can scroll again. Oh, here's 5 songs. So there's no work for you to do.
And there's that art of discovery is so...
That's how I know that's how we got to this point.
Yeah, it's so important because it allows, because there's nothing... I use this quite often, the Discover Weekly feature, right?
Yeah.
You just go...
Yeah.
But even that pure, hey, I didn't mean to click next, but I click next and there's an artist, for example, yeah, and she's not a new artist, she's out of the spotlight for very valid reasons.
Okay.
However, Azealia Banks,
Oh, come
that
on.
is an artist.
I love her.
What Azealia, like, I agree with every reason why she's been cancelled.
110%.
I agree with all of it. However,
Yeah, that album was crazy.
huh?
That album was a crazy album. It was
1991.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like,
Luxury.
yeah.
Oh,
she had bangers for
Licorice.
days.
I'm the liquid. Like, and that level of artistry. But a lot of people won't go back and listen to her because obviously
exactly.
I get it.
Yeah.
But I feel like that level of just, hey, I don't know who this artist is. This artist ain't got streams. This artist ain't popular. But I like them.
Exactly. It doesn't happen anymore.
It doesn't happen. Everyone likes to be mini A&Rs and be like, but did he stream though? Or did she stream though?
Yeah.
Who cares?
It doesn't last though. Like, I think it's just another one of those things where eventually we'll really see like who was really, really, you know, doing the work, like concerned about developing as an artist, and just who wanted to make money. I think that's why I like Leo Statrel. I talked about him.
Yeah, he's not for me, but I get it.
Yeah, but he makes fun music.
Yeah, it's
like
fun.
his music is fun. I'm not expecting like
Nah.
Kendrick lyrics from him.
No.
I'm not expecting like a good
No.
type of thing, but I can see he cares about him as an artist and what he can do with the fun music he's making.
Yeah.
And that's all I can ask for. Whatever
Yeah.
type of like category you find yourself in, just do it to the best of your ability.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah, just do it well. I feel like genuine. Yeah, I just want I just think more so consumers.
Yeah.
I just want us to be like, stop. You're not an A&R. You don't benefit from this art streaming. Listen to something because you genuinely listen to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I feel like a lot of people just want to conform to, hey, like, okay, this is popular, so I'm sticking my
Yeah,
remit,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, like experiment.
And also, if everything that was thrown at us was good, then we wouldn't be in the state that we are now, just in the world in general. Like, it's good to question things. It's good to ask yourself, do I actually like this? Or is it because everyone else likes it?
Exactly.
And I think that's something that we need to do just a little bit more, just a little bit.
Just question, or
Yeah.
just even find out where things come from.
Yeah.
Because that particular artist who has a particular sound, things aren't created in a vacuum.
Thank you.
Things aren't created in a vacuum.
Thank you.
And there are things that there's a paper trail. Yes, he might have taken this sound in a different direction,
Yeah.
and you know that's what differentiates them. But at the end of the day, like, there's a paper trail, and for me, I'm the type of person where I'm like, okay, that
Yeah.
sample came from here.
There-
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah,
And then,
literally.
like,
Literally. And sometimes I think that's why it can take the fun out of things. I can't remember what song it was, but Chris Brown had a song where he sampled I Like Your Smile by I think it's Shanice. Is it Shanice?
I
It's
don't
like a
recall the song.
do.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And obviously everyone's loving it.
Yeah.
I just was like, I can't get into it because I know where it's come from and it's not even different.
That brings.
So
I'm gonna say this. This is why I don't rate Tory Lanez chicks tapes.
yeah.
I don't rate them.
Do you know what?
I don't rate them.
You're not wrong. I like that. I like that he showed his creativity in
Yes.
terms of, chopping and whatever they call it, remixing, but it's not solid enough for it to be released. Like it shouldn't have. I don't know how
No.
Chicks Tape 5 got on streaming platforms. Like,
Honestly,
it's not solid enough. It's just, to me, that's just a bit of fun.
that's a TikTok cover.
Yeah, real.
No, but
That is so real.
because for me, yeah, the issue I have with the chicks tapes here is that the samples aren't distorted or manipulated in an inventive way enough where this
Yeah.
becomes your own
Yeah.
original thing.
Yeah.
These samples are very much feels like part twos.
Yeah.
They're very much tied to the original work, and for me, that's not creative sampling. Now, you can do stuff like that. You can, like, take a classic piece of work and, use that to popularize your own. But when it's an entire series, and more importantly, that entire series is considered your best piece of work,
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm not rating it.
Yeah,
I can't rate it.
Actually so true.
Because that's the crown jewel. Whenever I was debating about, like, Tory Lanez in the landscape of, like, compared to the Brysons, the Party Next Doors or whatever,
Yeah.
I always used to be like, yeah, he doesn't compare to other artists. And people are like, but the Chicks tapes. Yes, the Chicks tapes that has 112. Yes, the Chicks tapes that sample Usher.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could still hear the song.
The stuff that's not his original work then is his best work.
I can still hear
Right.
I'm Sprung.
Right. Right.
After I listen to Say It, I'm gonna play Brownstone.
Literally. No, literally. That's even the thing with a lot of his tracks. It's like, okay, now I need to listen to the original.
Exactly.
Like, don't get me wrong, Last did what it needed to do, but I will always go and play Tony Braxton's song. Like, I will always listen to He Wasn't Man Enough for Me because it's still the better song. Like, I think when it comes to sampling as well, it can do you so well. But if that is something that you hold on to, it's peak.
The thing with sampling, that sampling it's important in the sense where, like, it's especially within hip hop, R&B is a bit different because, like, if you want to go all the way back, let's go back to live instrumentation. Let's go back to,
everything's a sample.
To Teddy Pendergrass. So how many times have I heard the Isaac Brothers in the song? But that's a different question for a different day.
Yeah.
But
that's so true as well. There's that one song that everyone loves.
every Footsteps in the Dark has been used in every single song.
Yeah.
But even that, sorry, I'm going on bare tangents. Even that, I feel like artists, study.
Yeah, they don't
Study.
Oh my
Study.
God, they don't.
Study.
The only students are now just the producers. Like,
Because why is every sample from the 2000s?
yeah, it's real sad.
It's sad.
It's sad. And that's what I mean. Like, I just think, go back to the drawing board, accept the criticism and come back stronger because fair enough, okay, you're making money, but your legacy is fucking terrible. I don't know if I can swear.
No, you can
But
swear.
it's terrible when that's all it just becomes is like, it's just for a time.
I don't think the legacy will be terrible because I think the consumers are the exact same way. How many?
Because consumers are getting dumber.
They're getting, because how many times have I had an R&B conversation, right, with people, and R&B starts and ends at 2000.
Yeah, I know.
it starts and ends at the 2000s, and I'm like, hold on.
That's why they think that it's so good. Like, I think that's why the younger lot think that the music is so good right now, because it's just been taken from other places. Like, there's nothing about what we're hearing that's original
No.
right now, and that's the saddest part about it.
And it's not even like taking inspiration and doing something new with it.
Yeah,
It's
just repackaging the same exact formula.
and I'm so sorry, yeah. We can't, I'll be honest, we can't have hip hop R&B discussions when you're telling me you've never heard a TLC song,
That's crazy.
you've never heard Escape.
Yeah.
We can't have serious conversations about the medium or a hip hop conversation where you're telling me, nah, man, I've never heard Nas. I'm not listening to that. Because I feel like, again, especially as people who claim to be invested in the music, this isn't your casual Capital One extra consumer. This isn't somebody who goes on Spotify and has their playlist on shuffles.
Exactly.
These are people with of influence, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily saying that everyone needs to know everything, because there are songs that I don't know, right? But I feel like if you are especially entrusted, have the responsibility of informing or being a tastemaker, a bit of research on the medium you're talking about is important. You can't talk to me about R&B boy groups when you don't know New Edition.
Yeah, like it's not going to be a fun conversation.
It's not going to be an informed conversation.
Yeah, yeah. Where if even also with that, it's like,
this is why people are telling me Chris Brown's the GOAT of all R&B.
Because it's gonna get real sad if I really get into that. Like,
no, but I know informed people who think that too. But yeah,
there's so many people that think that, like, genuinely so many people. And then you ask them, like, oh, but okay, what's in your top 5? It's nothing close to
I think people conflate his talent with his discography. They're two different things.
His discography is awful, but okay, I take that back, because it's not awful, but I feel like he's ruining it with the audiobooks.
Does he have a classic album?
No, because every project is 35 songs. Who's listening to all that?
I don't think he has a classic album. I think he has good albums with a lot of hit out. If you want to talk about his hit list,
that's extensive. We'll be here all day.
Different. Yeah. But if you want to talk about defining projects,
it would probably be the one that had Forever. Forever had With You. I can't even remember what else. That's the last like solid project that I can really remember. I don't really.
What about Fame? Fame was pretty good.
Actually,
Fame had some.
I loved Fame.
Fame was pretty good. It's just the EDM stuff killed it for me. Long term.
Really? I think Beautiful People is still an amazing song. Like.
Yeah, but Yeah Times 3, I can't condone that.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah,
I can't condone that one. Beautiful People was good, but Yeah Times 3, I can't condone that.
Yeah, no,
but
okay, I hear that.
But the whole point is, I feel like a lot of people are too. They're happy being willfully ignorant about the medium. And I feel like, respectfully, and this is what goes with the conversation of gatekeeping, I do believe in gatekeeping.
Yeah.
I do believe in, hey, if you want to have a conversation about an entire extensive medium that has history dating back 40, nearly 50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see credentials. And the credentials aren't, you've worked out Capital One Extra. The credentials aren't BBC. The credentials are, hey, this album, I've listened to it, and this is my opinion. We don't have to agree.
Yeah, we don't have to agree.
We don't have to agree, but let me know that you're informed.
Yeah. Like, I can see where you're coming from. I can see how you got to that conclusion. That's even another thing. And that's what I was saying about, with TikTok, you just don't know where your content is going to end, because people will see that one video and not know where you came from.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest thing. Like, Instagram is very controlled. You know, I've curated it to my connects and my network. But TikTok,
your video will
so
end
it's
up
like,
somewhere.
even if you are saying something that is critical and negative, they don't know what your background is until you've reached a certain point, which hopefully I'll get there.
Yeah.
But
I believe you.
Thank you. But before then, hey, it's like constantly having to prove yourself, which I don't mind doing because I know I can back it up.
Yeah.
But I just think we just need more like actual like true channels and publications to go through, so that we can have more journalists writing about honest opinions and
Yeah.
not just writing about this song has come out.
I
Because that's
think-
what it's reduced to in the UK
yeah,
now.
yeah. Honestly, it's a tough one because I feel like the goal is to basically divorce the monopoly that these
Yeah.
labels and these publications have over the industry.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
at the same time, bills need to get paid.
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah, like we do this because we love it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, when these cameras turn off or when the phone comes down, we got real issues to deal with.
Yeah, we got real jobs.
We got real jobs to deal with.
Yeah.
And the love of the game, if I want to talk about the game extensively and as in depth as I want to be,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get some bread from it.
Yeah.
And then the point is, and then I think every creator reaches a lot of these creators reach a point where it's like, yeah, honesty ain't paying the bills though.
Mm-hmm.
So
exactly. So you have to play the game.
yeah,
and that's why I would never leave my job. I can tell you that for free. If I get syndicated or get like my TV show, I'm not, because then it starts to change the way you interact with people, your integrity. Like I don't want to feel that I have to say something or not say something because of like a certain relationship or it's going to affect my bag. Like I just think that just shows that the industry is not honest. Like it's not.
And there's not enough separate. Like we said before, everything's all intermingled because you could have. Because again, I don't want to compare to the States because their things different. But you could have Charlemagne built his name just of cussing people, whether positively
but
or
there's
negatively.
enough space for him to do it. It's the same with Wendy Williams. There's enough space for them to do it. Where in America, you're like 4 people removed from someone that you know, like someone knows. Like in here, it's like 3. Like
2.
the degree,
2.
it's so much closer.
If me and you were to look at our contact list, we could. I promise you, if we were to play a mental game, I promise you, we could get to Meghan Markle faster than you could think.
That's what I'm saying.
If we were to play Connect the Dots, we could get to the Duchess of Sussex as fast as you think.
Yeah.
We could probably get to Stormzy very quickly.
Very, very quickly.
Very quickly.
So I think that's like a thing that has made it, so interesting in how I'm trying to navigate how I go about it, because Wendy Williams had enough like backing to be able to talk her shit.
Exactly.
Like, and that's all I want. I don't want to feel like I can't say this because I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent.
The
like
relationship.
My 9 to 5, I'm staying in my 9 to 5. So, and it just keeps me integral. It keeps my passion alive as well.
And and as a guy, I think too many rappers just want to fight me. Well, not me, but fight my contemporaries. And it's just like, because,
Do you know what? I only receive like pushback from men in all my content. Like I can say something so negative about like women and they just take it on the chin.
Oh,
it's always the men, which is actually mad.
They will stitch your video about black women. I agree with her. Be more like, but we'll talk off cam. I saw some things. We'll talk off cam. But honestly, it's been a pleasure having you on. Tell the people what you got going on. Tell the people where they can find you at.
Thank you. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at HerMusicRoom. I'm also an artist manager, so you can find my artist in my bio. And just stay tuned because there's a lot more coming.
Well, I'm definitely going to have you back on because we're definitely going to talk about more. But there's a series I do called Rare Madness where I basically like have tournaments and I compare like songs.
Oh, sick. I'm done.
I'm scared to do 2000s R&B because I like to do the tournament in like 32 songs.
Okay.
But then it's like picking 32 songs from the 2000s is hard because there's
so
too much.
many. Yeah, that was.
So I usually branch it out from like male artists and female artists to give me a bit more room.
Yeah.
Groups in the 2000s, they kind of died, so I don't.
Yeah, they did die.
They kind of died, so. But regardless, this will not be the last time I have you in the studio. But more importantly, I'm just a fan of your content.
Oh, thank you so much.
More importantly, just like even the yapping stuff, like even aside the music and stuff, the yapping stuff is mad entertaining.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, just keep doing what you're doing because I genuinely think like your voice and your honesty is genuinely a breath of fresh air. And I genuinely love the TikTok space when it comes to content creators because I feel like we're unimpeded by, labels, we're unimpeded by getting a million views on YouTube or just people talking.
The reach, it's bigger.
And you're credentialed. You're credentialed. So you know what you're talking about.
Thank you.
But make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Help us get to 1K on Instagram. We are almost at 10K on TikTok. We're about, I think, maybe about 7.9. So help us get to 10K on TikTok, you know, so I can grow the platform and I can have some of your favorite artists in the studio.
Period.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, this has been the Rare Podcast. We are signing out. Deuces. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Bye.